one.
We're making progress there.
Are we about ready to go back?
More
Okay.
chatter about.
I'm calling our regular meeting back to order, and we are down to public comment. Is there any public comment? Nobody on the, anonymous went away?
Yeah, one anonymous person.
He's still there.
They have introduced themselves.
Okay, approval of board minutes, and we have two, it looks like, today. We have we'll do the first one, February 15th board meeting. I would entertain a motion, and then we'll have discussion.
Okay, I move to approve the February 15th meeting minutes as provided.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second that.
Okay, we have a second, is there any discussion? Looks like no discussion. Mary, do you want to take a roll call vote on that?
There, everything is in there that I am aware of. So you just need to get your phone, your hat. And,
Tracy?
Tracy, you.
I'm trying to change here.
Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
oh, I just
oh, wait, we have,
just one comment. So, page 11 about the difference. We have the 720,000.
we're not there yet.
Oh,
For meeting minutes.
minutes.
oh,
February meeting minutes.
I should just leave.
You was in me.
All right, Mary,
Okay. Commissioner Booth Smith,
yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
You muted, Jay.
Commissioner Nino,
Yes.
Commissioner Legria,
Yes,
Commissioner Withers,
Yes.
Commissioner Reed,
Yes,
Commissioner Romero,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald. Okay, motion passes. Okay.
And then we will move on to the minutes for February 23rd.
I move to approve the February 23rd minutes for the board meeting as provided.
Okay,
Second.
okay, is there any discussion? Pamela?
okay, it's a question, actually, on page 10, the bottom and the top of the 11, not in terms of anything that's incorrect, just like to know, it says that the district is not buying electric vehicles. Is that because of price, because what the grant said, lack of availability?
Yes.
All the above.
Okay, I guess I'm a
All
little
good.
tired. Okay, and then the other thing is on the top of the 11, there's a difference between the grant is 720,000 and, okay, there's a difference of 108,000, which will be in the budget. So will there be a little note somewhere in case,
The 108,000 is our local match.
so, but when we're doing the budget, will that be kind of a little note
That'll be, yeah.
putting 108,000, which is a bit of money, somewhere? I mean, I just don't care.
Well, you brought it up.
I do care. I just don't have enough sleep to be as coherent here.
Deanna, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you. On page 9 of our packets, page 2 of the minutes. So let's see, from the bottom up, it would be the second previous paragraph. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, line 8. So it on line 7, it said Commissioner Nino reported that Kathy went around the room and asked every single person there what were their struggles. That there should be THEIR instead of there as in place. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think Tracy's hand is still up from before,
No, it's Tracy's driven his car.
Tracy's in the car.
His car.
All right.
Looks
All
like, no, he's not. Maybe.
Mary, let's go ahead and take a vote.
Okay.
He is in his car.
Very sorry.
Okay. Commissioner Booth Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner McDonald,
He's now.
Commissioner Nino,
Aye.
Commissioner Alegria,
Aye.
Commissioner Withers,
Aye.
Commissioner Reed,
Aye.
Commissioner Romero.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, and then on to reports from chair and commissioners. Let's start with Guillermo today.
Glad to be here. I gotta share this with you. I have, as you know, I work for DHS and somebody asked me about something to do with the bus, and I referred them, and they made a phone call, and they came back and said, you know what? Thank you for referring me. I think they called here, I don't, and they were so happy. And because, you know, a lot of our clients are difficult. And it was so cool that because that person is pretty dysfunctional. I came and said, hey, thank you for doing that. And I appreciated the folks down the corner. Hey, I just wanted to say that.
All right, thank you.
You know, and again, it's pretty consistent of what we all do for folks at this district.
Thank you. Rebecca?
I guess right now, I'm on fairly light duty. I'm just working on the evaluation committee for the executive director.
All right. Pamela?
Ditto.
Let's jump up to Deanna.
Thank you. I successfully filed my candidate application with the county clerk's office for the upcoming elections. That's it.
Tracy, are you with us?
Tracy, you'll need to unmute yourself unless I can,
He's driving, he shouldn't be on meeting.
Maybe Elizabeth is driving.
Can I ask a question? Did it ever get resolved about the position 7 for Deanna? That it was appropriate that she need to run for this election?
Yeah,
Okay,
I called the county and
And I
verified, okay.
was reading some stuff on it, and yeah.
okay.
Super. Nothing from Tracy. We'll come back to Tracy. Charles?
Couple good times this month to sing our praises. So I ran into a couple of tourists in Cannon Beach. Wow, tourists in Cannon Beach, yeah, sure. And they were saying how you guys have a great county bus system here, and they were going on. I said, I got the chance to tell them about special districts. That they were not for us. There would not be a bus system here. And I said there's a lot of us around the state who provide services and municipal type services in counties all over the state, and so where there would not be otherwise not be. And they were impressed because they thought the buses ran timely, and they thought that the drivers were all nice. They said, I want to definitely get that due to them, but just got a chance there. I think we need to do that more and more. I think that our chairs talked about that. Other commissioners have talked about it. So just sing the praises, because we have a good bus system, and often people think it's because the county does something. And so I got twice to say that to people down in Tourist in Cannon Beach. What a novel. Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. I attended the Employee Appreciation Barbecue on last Thursday. It was a lot of fun, like it always is. The barbecue was great. I did miss out on the ice cream, which I probably didn't need anyway. I also attended the Northwest Act meeting in March. It was here in Astoria, and I had an afternoon where I didn't have a lot on my schedule, so I was able to attend that. I also want to just talk about one of the new hires we have here. And his dad is so proud that he is driving the bus here. I get phone calls, and even the other day, I got pictures of his son driving the bus. Dad is just ecstatic. And the new employee seems to really enjoy doing it. So I think that's a real good thing. So other than that, that's what I've been doing this last month.
Can I give a final shout out to Eric in Seaside?
Sure.
You always gotta give a shout out. His attitude is so, you've been there, Eric, his attitude is just, it's amazing, amazing. So I'll try to give a shout out to Eric every chance.
Okay. Tracy, any comments from you this month?
You'll have time to eat yourself, Tracy.
You're not driving.
I'm the only comment, I had a transportation meeting for the city of Seaside. And we have an ongoing situation on South Downing. Some residents feel that we are speeding, and Jeff's already addressed it, and you guys can have some further comments from that. Anyway, that's all I have. And I filed, so.
Okay, thank you, Tracy.
Great.
Just want to have a quick one. I forgot about the transit day. We really enjoyed it. And I liked the setup because it was more conducive to conversation, whereas another one I attended just wasn't conducive because of the layout. So I got to talk to people I didn't know, listen.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And thank you, everyone, for the work that was put in.
And Paul was great on the barbecue as always, so I think as long as we can keep him coming back to barbecue for us, we'll be good.
And he dressed sharply.
Yes, he did. He
His
was.
sneakers matched his shirt.
Okay, we'll move on to financial reports, and Kelly is in a training today, so she's not gonna be here. So maybe if we have any questions, Jeff can try to answer them for us. A motion to, and then we'll discuss if need be,
Well, I move to approve the budget.
the financials.
Not the budget,
Oh, pardon me,
the financial.
objections. I move to approve the financial report.
Second?
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, I have questions.
You're doing
But I
that
think
on purpose.
I am. I think I have answers to them also.
Okay.
So on the consolidated statement of activity on page 13, so I see that month to date, we're a little bit behind, but I think that's due to a lot of monies we haven't gotten in, all those zeros. Mass transit assessment, billboard lease, charging station.
Yeah, we haven't got all the reimbursements yet.
Okay, that was
Yep.
the only thing I could think of, and I probably wouldn't
We've
ask
gotten some
Kelly
of
that,
them
but
so
I wanted
far.
to know if you knew it, so. Anybody else have any questions or any discussions for Jeff? All right, Mary, you wanna do a roll call vote?
Okay. Commissioner Lou Schmidt.
Aye.
Commissioner McDonald. Commissioner Nino.
Aye.
Commissioner Labria.
Hi,
Commissioner Withers.
Aye.
Commissioner Reed.
Aye.
Commissioner Merrill.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Did you see McDonald? Did you see McDonald?
He's,
So there's Any discussion? Okay,
At the meeting,
I
can we just,
Okay.
Pamela, do you have something?
page 18,
We already passed it, Pam.
I thought we could discuss it.
Discuss.
We did, but I discussed, but nobody said
Okay.
anything else. Are
I'm just
you,
gonna be quiet the rest of them. Anyway,
Rebecca, poke her every once in a while, make sure she's awake.
Give her your
Grab your needs
dagger
for coffee.
eyes.
That's what happens when you bring your own coffee cup.
Yeah, what's in there?
Okay. We'll go ahead and move on then to continued business. And it doesn't look like we have any. So we'll move on to new business. Jeff, do you want to take yeah, I'm not gonna try to even say that word.
Oh, come on, go ahead.
No.
You can do it.
Good.
Okay.
Narcan.
Narcan I can do. This does not say Narcan.
So, this is a program I've been thinking about for an awful long time. And it just, I think what finally pushed me over the edge, the county has a new public health director. And I was informed by senior leadership at the county when he came on board that he was so happy with the transit service that we have here in Clatsop County. It's just like what Charles was referring to earlier. He came from New York, and the area that he lived in New York had terrible transit service, and he just thinks that we're the cat's meow. So it was really nice to hear that. And so I ended up reaching out to him, and he came over here a few weeks ago, and we met, and I talked to him about naloxone or Narcan. Because of the opioid crisis that is just plaguing the entire nation. This is an amazing drug, and if you've never seen it work, it's incredible. I've seen it work, and it saves lives. So my vision was, since we have buses out there in the community, often in very rural areas, even one of our Portland drivers commented, it would be nice if we had this stuff on our bus, because we're traveling that long distance and we carry some of these people. So that's what, I presented to Jing Zhang, and I'm gonna mess up that name, to see if we could partner with the health department, and they're all in. Once the board approves it, then I'll get with him. We're gonna set up training for the entire district, all the employees. I'd invite you guys if you guys want to come as well. It's just like our CPR training. Everybody's trained in CPR. The administration of naloxone by us is covered under the Good Samaritan law, so just like it is with CPR. The good thing about naloxone, there's no contradiction. If the person's not overdosing, it won't hurt them. It will not hurt them. And it's very easy to administer. I don't know what style we'll get. I assume it will be a atomizer for the nose, but I don't know that for sure. One of the other ways, what I used to carry was the needle. And I've carried it, for probably 7-8 years. I've always kept a supply on hand. But we're excited about that. One thing I was telling the drivers about it last week at the meetings, they were very excited about it, interested in it. What was I saying? Oh, no, hang on, let me look at my notes.
It's worse.
Pamela is contagious.
Huh?
Yes. You gave it to me, you just did it quick. Sorry.
Anyway,
There you go.
because our buses are out there, they can be a first responder. And just like CPR, the bus driver will not be required to do it. They can make the choice of whether they want to administer it. And some may be hesitant until they get the training and realize how easy it is. So,
Could they give it to someone else on the bus and let them do it? Is there anything against them doing that?
doing what?
Say they don't want to do
Can you speak up a little bit?
I'm sorry, so they don't want to do the North and, it's North End, is I.
Narcan is a brand name, but
Yeah.
naloxone is the.
So the bus driver doesn't want to do it, but it's on the bus. Can a passenger say, I'll do it?
We'll have to check with the county and see.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
Wouldn't they be protected under the Good Samaritan law?
Should be.
Yeah, we'll check with them and find.
You know, if you can, since you have his ear, you know, the new director, I'm wondering what kind of better information that the general public can know about this. And I don't know about, you know, mass training or anything like that, but, you know, I don't think that a lot of people are really very aware of it. I know
Yeah.
quite a few people are, but not everybody.
And I know that there's some bills in the legislature right now going on about naloxone. And so that may help encourage people to carry it. You know, because there is a cost involved, you know, they don't just hand it out for free to the regular public. And I just remembered what I was gonna say, and then I wrote a word down and the word doesn't make any sense. Oh, no, I know what I was gonna say. One of the things, you know, I get a lot of trade magazines in the transit arena. And I haven't seen articles, and I don't know if Arlo has seen it, where other transit agencies are carrying naloxone on the buses. Or if I have, it's only been maybe one or two.
Yeah, I don't know, they might do in the most in the major cities and stuff
Right.
like that, but I haven't really looked for it.
So what I'd like to, you know, what I'm hopeful of this is that we get good coverage on it, you know, that we're doing this. And then it encourages other transit agencies. Guys, it's kind of like when we started busing on the lookout here. We were the first agency to adopt that 100% in Oregon, and it rolled out from there.
Proved out right away.
And we continue to prove that.
So do other state agencies and county agencies, are they all geared up to use this? Gearable?
Yeah, I know first responders carry it, police carry it, firefighters carry it. I've seen a police officer use it before.
What about putting it in each one of the offices?
They will be in the
this one here?
offices as well.
I'd be interested in being part, I'll sign up to be on the training.
Me too.
If it's
Okay,
provided.
we'll send that out once we get the dates
Because
set.
I would like
And
to.
we'll have a couple of trainings, one in the morning, one in the afternoon.
See, this stuff is this pandemic, this epidemic, whatever you want to call it, epidemic of opioids. You said the cities have it all, but it's really in rural areas, it's almost overwhelming in some of the rural areas, and we're a rural service, so.
Right.
So I think we should definitely, you know, do it because, you know, in eastern Clatsop County is about as rural as you get. And we
That's
go-
where I live.
we go- So, yeah,
May I make a
definitely.
suggestion?
Huh?
I'd like to make a suggestion.
Yeah.
So, as you might know, I submitted that Seaside teen human trafficking story to what we have as Inside ODOT, and it was published. And what I would like to do is submit this also to Inside ODOT and maybe have a photographer come down from ODOT to take pictures at the training and put it in Inside ODOT.
We would not be opposed to that at
Okay.
all.
I think that is really powerful, that it gets some
Yeah.
press.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, you know, it's like I said, it's amazing to see how quickly more than one, one hit of it,
Dose.
one snort of it.
The alternatives, they'll die.
Well, that's the alternative.
Alternative, they'll die.
And that's why, you know, everybody will get trained, you know, when they come out of it, they're gonna come out swinging because we just took their high away. But that's what we have to explain to
If I
them.
save your life, let's
Yeah.
take a swing at it.
This was the choice, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but some people, like, I know we just got trained on it out at the fire department in Westport, where we can do up to 8, we can administer 8 doses of it on one person. So,
Wow,
but I've never seen that happen before.
wow.
Well,
Would you
this is-
have 8 doses on you?
If you have that many, I know,
Yeah, that's,
There was an incident here in Clatsop County not too long ago where several people overdosed and whichever officers showed up, they ran out.
Well, I think this is a very worthy program, and I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve.
But Deanna's got a question on it.
Go ahead, Deanna.
Thank you. Not a question, actually, just another spelling suggestion for our packet. So on page 27, right after that last line, after the Good Samaritan law. So the last line says there are no contradictions, and I believe it should be contraindications, which is what you were saying, that anybody could probably administer it and there's not going to be an adverse reaction.
Okay, thanks.
But I think it's great. Thank you.
Rebecca, did you wanna?
Yeah, I would like to move that we approve partnering with Clatsop County Public Health Department to set up a naloxone program at SCTD.
I second.
Okay, thank you, Deanna. Is there any other discussion?
I just wanted to make a comment. I applaud the district and the county for taking that significant step. Those of us who work with that target population, you know, we've had an addiction problem in this county for years. And we're starting, and I don't think the leadership of this community likes to recognize that, but I applaud the district for doing that in the county.
I'm excited about it.
All right. Mary, would you like to do a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Bluesmith,
Yes.
Commissioner McDonald,
We lost him.
okay, thank you. Commissioner Nino,
Yes.
Commissioner Legria,
Aye.
Commissioner Withers,
Aye.
Commissioner Reed,
Aye.
and Commissioner Merrill.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Unanimous.
And then driver update.
So I haven't talked about, our shortage for quite a while. Sue's been doing a good job of getting people hired. We've got a lot of new drivers now, as a matter of fact, and they're doing good. We were hopeful that we'd be able to start some service, but Sue unfortunately informed me that we may be losing some drivers. Some of our longer-term employees are retiring. We know for sure of one person with the possibility of two more. So we don't have any targeted timelines to start or restore some service at this point. Because the last thing that we want to do is start a route and then lose drivers and then have to cut the route. You might as well just shut the district down because we wouldn't be relevant anymore. So we want to be very conservative in our approach to restoring service. Which is, it's unfortunate because the first two routes we were going to bring back and that we will bring back are going to be the weekend service in Astoria and Cannon Beach. We want to bring them back at the same time, but we got to make sure we have enough drivers to be able to do it. And it may still happen, but I got to see what the effect of this retirement, the one retirement and then potentially the other two are going to have on it. So we'll still be looking at that. But I just wanted to update the board. There's no action to be taken, but
I think we should solidify what we have before we bring those on. As you said, you don't want to bring those back on and then take the heat for moving them. So our priority should be to solidify what we have and then.
and we're maintaining now.
Yeah.
Maybe it is that we can, Jennifer and I look at it closer, maybe we can get it back, but I don't want to commit to it at this point.
Pamela?
How many new employees?
How many new employees? The last ones were
New drivers.
in February. But I've got 2 bus drivers, that are already licensed that want to come work for us. We just interviewed one, and I have a phone interview with another on Friday. She's in Arizona. And then I have a couple more interviews coming, but I have several more interviews that I'm going to be,
So nothing's confirmed yet.
about
The employees that you're in, there's no confirmed new employees.
no, not at this point, no.
Not since February.
And then there are two that are possibly retiring.
Two,
Three, what's,
maybe three,
yeah.
but we don't know yet.
Okay,
We know for sure one.
okay,
One's,
The other two are just possibilities.
okay. Thank you.
okay, that's my update on that.
Okay. It's budget time. So we need to do our budget calendar.
So I put some suggested dates in there that would work for staff. But we're definitely open to hearing what your availability is, and I can bring up my calendar so I can look at it as well.
It's a 2-day or 1 day.
We'll schedule 2 days, but the past, I don't know how many years, we've only just had one date. But we'll do a second one just in case. Barry won't let me do just one, so.
You never know.
Good job, Mary.
So the dates I put on here, we're recommending the first week in May. And May 1st, 2nd, or 4th would work for us that week. And then a second meeting, if needed, we could set for the Monday, the 8th, or Wednesday, the 10th. And then that would give us the opportunity to potentially adopt the budget in May rather than waiting till June. I know Pamela's had that concern before about, if we set the hearing for June, you really can't change anything. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's why I thought we could, if we could do it for the May 25th meeting, that'd be great. That way, if there were any changes, it could be made. We could-
I forgot, it's the May 25th.
Huh?
Got to look it up. It's the May 25th when we have a board meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, those all look good.
On principle, I don't do Mondays.
So we gonna be in person or we try to do it in person?
It'll be hybrid.
Okay.
It'll be just like this meeting,
Zoom, so
either in person or on Zoom.
I can make any of those dates soon.
You want now, or you want us to commit to them now? Okay, so,
So now,
okay, any of them good right now, but while the getting's good. So.
Deanna,
I do have previously work commitment on Tuesday, May 2nd, so I could join anytime after 12 noon. And I'm good for Monday.
does anybody else have any conflicts for the 1st or the 2nd
or the 4th.
or the 4th?
So principles don't count.
Yeah, I can't do the one on the 4th either. Hold on. Yeah, the 4th is difficult for me. It conflicts.
It's the first.
So Monday the 1st.
Pam, I'm sorry, it might have to be a Monday.
Broken. This is public meeting. My principles have been broken.
Okay.
So are we good with May 1st?
Yes.
Okay.
What time?
10 o'clock?
10?
That's what we.
I was gonna suggest 8. But 10's fine.
No.
If you say I'm zooming, I'm telling you right now.
Is 10 good for you, Pam? That give you enough time to have an extra cup of coffee on a Monday?
You mean a pot? Sure.
Okay.
Okay, 10 a.m.
And excuse me, for the record, I'll be out of the country.
Oh, that's
I'm gonna
right.
be just
That's
April-
right.
April 20th.
Zoom,
Some people will do anything to get out of it.
Okay.
Zoom, we'd love to see where you're at.
That'd be
Egypt,
cool.
Texas.
A Zoom with a background of the turbine.
So that'll probably be, we'll schedule a 6-hour meeting. We generally haven't. We
I've
haven't
never
gone
had it that long, but just in case.
10 to 4.
So,
You should go through lunch, usually go through lunch, sure.
Yeah,
So it's-
we'll have lunch for sure.
That's the bridge too far. You'll bring lunch, right? Okay.
Oh, yes.
Then it's okay.
So there's not another date where all of us could make it?
Not for that long, that many hours. That's the thing.
I think we just buy ourselves time, and we get it done early in the month like that.
And then that following week, I put in here Monday, May 8th or Wednesday, May 10th. And that will be a shorter meeting because if there's any changes that we need to make, that typically can be done like an hour and it could be held at any time. And really, let me pull up that week.
So would we get a copy of what we've discussed on the first by
Yes.
that date?
Yes,
And enough
Two-
time to actually read it?
I can't guarantee that. I mean, that'd be a quick turnaround for Mary to, no, in fact, there wouldn't be. You'd have to kind of keep your notes, because that'd be a week out, so there would not be minutes for that meeting, that first meeting.
Is there any way to schedule it a little later in May?
Well, absolutely, we won't be able to adopt it in May.
Because of the,
All right, we get a vote on it in May 25th or not, and then goes
Oh,
to
right.
June, and then we don't, what we had last year.
well, at least we'll get a copy
Yes. So,
Before the meeting.
and we'll have highlighted things that we changed, so,
before the meeting.
yes.
Okay.
Deanna, how does Wednesday, May 10th look for you for our second meeting?
Wednesday, May 10th. That worked well for me.
If we need it, okay? I'm trying to get off of the Monday for Pam, so.
No, I can be, I'm flexible with my principles.
So. Would May 8th work, or May 10th work for everybody for the just in case meeting? Yes. Is that good for everybody?
And what time would that be?
8 in the morning?
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock,
10 o'clock is fine.
So both of them are 10s.
both of them are 10.
I did that for you, Charles.
Appreciate it.
Okay,
So we have been up about 30 minutes or so, but I appreciate it.
Okay,
that's what we need, thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry, and I'm just putting it on my calendar. So what are the times that we're doing for May 1st? 10 a.m. to 4, 3?
10 to 4.
Thank you.
what about training? Usually.
What we do is training.
They're already trained.
Everybody is trained.
Everyone's usually.
What about the seniors, the civilians, the
Community members?
citizens?
Well, they all went through it last
Yeah.
year.
Do they say
I don't think
once?
we're changing
Yeah, there's
anybody.
no changes.
So does anybody feel like we need another training on the budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
So does this mesh with the budget committee? I mean, the minus the board, so they can meet, right?
Well, now that the dates are set, we will let them know.
Okay.
All right, that was pretty painless.
So then the next thing is appointing a budget officer. And that's something you need to make a motion on, appointing someone to be the budget officer. I did put in my thing that Kelly's just not quite comfortable enough yet to take it on this year. So I'd recommend that we wait until next year to consider her. So if you want to go ahead and appoint Mary this time,
Mary's
I would
good.
have no problem.
Look at the look she's giving.
Oh, okay.
Can we,
So can we have just turn this up here? Co-financial officer.
we ask the executive director Hazen to be the.
If you would like to make that motion, we can see how many agree with that.
Executive director Hazen will be the budget manager.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that?
And Kelly will be there,
He's helping train, but
but
she
she
can,
will
yeah.
be at the meeting, I mean, if she's not at the,
Oh, yes, she will be.
her training is a little
She'll
short.
train, Kelly in training.
Okay.
In fact, at that meeting, as part of her training, I'm gonna have her respond to some of the questions, because that's one of her roadblocks right now. You guys intimidate her so much, and she needs to work through that.
Yeah.
So I'm being serious about that. So.
Okay.
Yeah, she does understand that we're 100% behind her.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But she's not used to speaking in public, and sometimes she'll have to pause, and you'll see me jump in. And I want to give her the opportunity
want her to
to work
succeed.
on that at this.
We
We
are,
want her to succeed.
we
Huh?
are, a-
We want her to succeed.
She
Oh,
has,
that's
she
good.
has
She is.
proven herself to be very competent.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
and we are a scary group, so.
Yeah, we are.
We
Terrifying.
I mean, I'm a softie, man. Everywhere at Pamela's, you gotta be worried about. Look at her, she's just anxious to get at her.
You earned that.
I'll just have Kelly sit next to Pamela.
There you go. Pamela's the one.
Okay, if there's no other discussion, Mary, we do have a motion in a second, right? We do.
Yes, for
Okay, Commissioner,
Executive Director Hazen to be the budget manager. Good job.
okay, Commissioner Bushmet,
Yes, aye.
Commissioner Nino,
Yes.
Commissioner Legria,
Aye.
Commissioner Withers.
Yes.
Commissioner Reed,
Aye.
Commissioner Romero.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Any correspondence we need to deal with?
You have any correspondence?
No.
I didn't have any. No.
Executive Director report.
Okay, so you've got my report in the packet. Couple of other things. Tracy made reference to South Downing and Seaside. There's been some neighbor concerns about that. One in particular emails us when there is a concern, and we're able to go right online and look at the speed of the buses. And they have not, the speed limit down there is 25. They're still grumbling about some things. They want ridership numbers through that area, which we don't track that. We just have total numbers. But what I've agreed to do, I'm gonna go meet with them on Monday. There'll be about 10 neighbors, I think. Mary got me a room at the Bob Chisholm Center. So I'll be meeting with them to hear their concerns and explain why we changed that years ago. And just for the board's information, back in 2016, when we did the long-range comprehensive transportation plan, that was identified as an area that was underserved by transit. And so we wanted to, that's what we did. The other thing it helped solve was turning left on Highway 101.
Yes.
And so that got us down to that area where there's a light to get us back on 101 to head back north. So anyway, and I'll be explaining all that to them. They just, I don't think they want buses down there, but it was identified by the people in Seaside that they did want buses down
What do you mean you don't want buses down
there.
there?
Huh?
What do you mean by you don't want
I
buses
don't
down
think they
there?
want a big bus don't
They
they?
have us.
I'm sorry?
He said they don't want a bus.
Oh, they.
Yeah, we want.
Yeah, well, there are certainly people that need to use
Yeah.
bus. And I don't know what our ridership is down there because we don't have that technology yet on enough of our buses to see where people get on the bus and get off the bus. We have automatic passenger counters on some buses, but not all of the buses, not enough of the buses to where we can actually start using those numbers.
And what is the reason why they don't want a bus?
I don't know, I hope to learn more on Monday when I meet with the neighbors.
That'll be interesting. I'll be very interested in that because, you know, that's why I'm on this board.
How you wanna come to
Is
the
that I am a representative
I'll-
of Seaside and I'd really like to be just a little, you know,
It's
person
gonna
in
be
the
Monday
corner.
afternoon, what
Yeah.
time did you give me?
2 to 4.
2, yeah,
2 to 4.
2 o'clock. There'll probably be about an hour
What
meeting.
day?
Monday.
Monday,
Monday, at 2 o'clock, okay.
Bob Chisholm, and you take a left when you're
I'd
coming
kind
up.
of like to ride the route, you know, maybe I'll just do that on my own. If I can get the schedule, I'll just do it just anonymously, not like I, you know, got my clipboard, but I just kind of want to get a feel of
Right.
that route.
Well, I take that route, you come in from Cannon Beach, particularly in the summer, you turn on U Street to get on down and to get past sort of town and stuff. How long is the bus on down? It's not very long. A couple of blocks maybe or something?
Yeah, if that,
Yeah, so it's hard to get up to
Yeah,
any
it
kind of
is.
speed. I don't understand
yeah,
that
that's
at
why,
all.
the last time,
And I've seen lots of our buses in that stretch because it's the way you try to get around it. They're really going along to get ready to make, they turn on S Street, I think, or something like that.
yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, so I don't see how we could be getting up to.
There was another neighbor that was concerned a couple of years ago, or maybe a little over a year ago, and the chief of police even went down with his radar gun, and we weren't speeding.
It's too short to get
You know,
up.
but when you get a big vehicle in a small neighborhood, it may appear that they're speeding, but.
Yeah. I rode that route, the whole 101, it's probably a couple of years ago now though. But there's no way you can there's too many turns even,
They're
going
not
through those
speeding.
neighborhoods to get up.
So I actually can't make that meeting, but I am gonna do the route.
Okay.
And then I'll just send you a little email.
Sure. And, they may not like my answer, and so you may end up seeing them here, and that's fine. Okay. That's fine. So I took care of that. Those of you that were at the meeting or at the driver or transit employee appreciation, saw that one of our newer drivers, paratransit, Patrick, was named employee of the quarter. And Patrick is just a dynamite guy. We've known Patrick for years because when Northwest Alliance, previously known as Coastal Rehab, used to do our janitorial work here in the transit center and over in Warrenton, he was their crew lead. And so he worked with the developmentally disabled folks that clean. So we've known Patrick for years and been very happy with him, and it was a no-brainer to hire him. And it was funny because the day before the appreciation barbecue, and the announcement that he was getting employee of the quarter, he was parked out here with his rig on the street waiting for his next dispatch, and I was leaving, and so I pulled up and just to say hi, rolled down our windows, talking, and he looked at me, and he gave me a look I've never seen before. He says, "Jeff, I'm just having a bad day. I think I'm gonna get fired." And so I turned my engine off. It's just like, so I had the whole thing in the back of my head, well, you're gonna feel a lot better tomorrow because you're gonna get an award. But had a great conversation with him. He has some learning challenges, but staff is working great with him. The supervisor gave him some good tips the next morning, and he was proud to show me at the barbecue that, hey, I got a notepad now and I could write myself notes. So it worked out great. So he was super surprised and excited when he got the Employee of the Quarter award. So that was nice. One of the things that kind of goes along with that is we're in a little bit of a transition period with the Medicaid rides that we provide through the Northwest Rides brokerage. I'm going to editorialize right now. The state, in its infinite wisdom to make it better for their Medicaid clients, has changed the window of time on pickup times from 5 minutes to 15 minutes. And what they have done, they didn't bother talking to people that are in the business, any of the brokerages. What that has done now is it makes, hang on just a minute, Kathy popped out, I gotta pop her back in. That 15-minute window means that we won't be able to do very many Medicaid rides because we're so tightly scheduled. Because we have Medicaid rides, we also have paratransit rides, and that creates a huge problem. What it also does with the Medicaid clients, it is now making their clients, instead of making them happy, they're making them mad because now with that 15-minute window, there's going to be people that can't make their appointments, and their appointments, they'll be late to their appointment and they won't be able to, the doctor won't see them because they're so late. It was foolish of them to think without asking the transportation experts what the downside, what the unintended consequences were gonna be. And it's not just here in this area, it's across the state. Everybody's in an uproar over it. And that was part of the problem with Patrick that one day too, so, because it got him behind. Is there, we'll pull up to a house and before, we can wait 5 minutes and then they didn't show up, we're on our way. We always give them a courtesy call and things, but, yeah, this just makes it impossible for us.
Do you think they'd ever go back on that and just go
I hope
back
they
to the
do.
5 minutes?
I hope they do. If they don't, it's gonna be a problem.
Is that a federal mandated thing?
Huh?
Is that a federal mandated thing?
No, the state Oregon Health Authority,
And what
Made
was
that
the
a rule.
reasoning for this change?
they thought they were doing
Needed more
good
time.
customer service with their clients, with their Medicaid clients.
Well, perhaps to offer them to take a ride.
Yeah. Yeah, getting them out of their ivory tower in Salem might be challenging. So, anyway, that was unfortunate. Hopefully they will get that fixed. Let's see, other things in here. I mentioned the net zero project. Jennifer and I got everything in, and then we had a meeting with them yesterday. We need to update some of the numbers, so we're gonna get that to them by next week. That's moving forward. Token transit, that's gonna be nice since we have almost all of us on using token transit now. Tillamook was the last one to join. We'll be able to put our connector passes, which will be much easier for people to purchase them ahead of time. We'll have to figure out how we're gonna, we got a plan in place on that. So that'll be great for the connector, because that connector still continues to run strong. You can see on the ridership numbers, January, we're up 46% in ridership, and February up 76%. That's huge for us. And, when we start going to the airport, we're gonna see triple digits in there, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. Anyway, any questions for me?
And one of them is, as we go down the SCTD priorities, but just like a item here that would help us, and I think this is fine that it doesn't have to be colored copies and everything, but I notice on our priorities, when you have added something, a notation in regards to one of those priorities, is there any way that we could italicize those so that they differentiate from the actual priority?
Yeah.
It'd be a little easier to read.
They used to be in color.
Well, I don't care about the, every page having to be a colored page.
Oh, I apologize for that. That's my fault this time. When I sent it to the computer, I forgot to say color.
So color mine.
And that would be one
You're all
other way
using color.
to not have to do the color, which is to italicize it.
Did you print your own? That's why,
Oh,
the hardbacks that I made here.
okay. Anyway, but I've got, just kind of as we're going down the road here on these priorities. Employee recruitment, retention, do we talk about, are we a part of the conversation in this county in regards to how we address the lack of housing for our new hires and for people? That certainly must be an issue for, potential employees, and we should be, making our needs
Yeah,
known as well.
we talked about that a lot at the CEDAR meetings, the Class of Economic Development. And I'm on their advisory board, so that is a constant topic of discussion. And we also talk about it at our monthly managers meetings too. So
Okay.
we're all talking
Good.
about it.
And, I think that, this is my editorial without being political about this, but, there is a measure that is on the ballot this May, which is in essence addressing that, which is that there are people that, and part of the county commission, that want to have no limitations in unincorporated county zones, 16 distinct neighborhoods where there would be no restrictions on people purchasing homes for
Vacation rentals.
short-term rentals. And I really think that we, you know, as major employers in the county, need to be a voice to say, this is a problem for us because we are having a housing crisis and it trickles down to our ability to hire people for the services this county residents need.
Well, and that's what, when Sue said she had somebody from Arizona, it's like, do they have a place to live?
They have
Or,
family here, but, and she said she's working on a place to live.
so that, and I know we've had others that have applied, gotten a job, wasn't able to find a place to live here and were unable to
I
take
know
the
that's
job.
an issue, but, you know, unless we're a voice, you know, and I think that this is not a partisan issue, this is just a, you know, organizational issue. And I think that that's the kind of nudge that maybe our leaders need to hear.
One of the things, and they're very aware of it, one of the things that I haven't shared with the board, that, you know, when we get to the point where we can relocate out of the tsunami zone, you know, Oregon land use laws are very, very strict, and Pamela will probably cringe when I say this, but one of my thoughts, because you're a planner, and you know the laws for the problem, is if there's any ability for us, when we build a new facility, to add in to that facility a few apartments, just for people relocating, for our drivers or any employee that's relocating here, that they could rent on a short-term basis, like a 90-day, 120-day, 180-day, whatever, in order for them to get started to work here and take that pressure off of having to find a place to live right now, but gives them the time to find a place to live.
And I
That will
would-
take an act of God.
Yeah, that would be, it would only work, you know, if we're not the only people
Right.
that were doing that. And I have heard other organizations talk about
Yeah.
that, you know, that is a stopgap.
Yeah, and then, you know, but it depends on the zoning of the area that you go into, and where we would potentially go into is not zoned for housing. But it's, you know, I'm looking at the North Coast Business Park, and I could make a case, well, the jail's here, you know?
There's other apartments around up there too. You know, when I lived.
Yeah, they're out with that.
When I lived in Alaska, we had, I think he was a city manager at the time, can't remember now. But we had zoning where you couldn't build residents around the waterfront, the harbor, on the main ground, but you could have apartments upstairs. So he built a bank in an apartment upstairs that he could live in, but then he never opened the banks. They couldn't, for one thing, they couldn't get the safe in. Once they brought the safe, it was a debacle.
Usually that's when you build a bank, the safe is the first thing you do build. You build
The
around
safe
it.
set out in the front of the, forever. Anyway, but
So are we in a position and do we have the interest in being more of a voice? I know that I'm very happy to hear, Jeff, that you're on the Cedar Advisory Board. That's really great. But what we can do in addition to that, because, you know, we do have clout. And this is not a problem, this is an issue that's not gonna go away without some organizational will.
You know, we can share our stories, and that's what I've been doing. I would caution you with endorsing the measure as a body. I would caution you not to to do that.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I just brought
As
it
a
up, I was
citizen,
looking to see
Knock
where.
yourself out, but that can get a little.
You know, it is an open question that should go on record that, you know, we need to discuss this more about how we can, for the benefit of ourselves, our riders, our, you know, community, where can we appropriately use our clout? So that, you know, that we can move good, I don't know,
Move the needle.
legislation, but, you know, good decisions in our county. And I would like to visit that in the future.
Pamela?
Just to continue the discussion, there's been a lot of discussion about homelessness, affordable housing, workforce housing. And if you're on the various committees, to pick a project, the issue has been talked to death. So to pick a project, get people to, there are enough people interested, organizations to pony up money. And they have, and historically, this has always been a problem, always. It's just been pushed under the table. Cities, counties, state don't want to pay for it. So just pick a project. The city of Astoria years ago did a vacancy report. Pull that thing out. Stop reinventing the wheel. One of the big problems in planning, just pick a project. That's, there's that white building on Marine Drive, whatever the heck that was some kind of antique place for sale. Look at that, pick a building somewhere and start each of you applying for a grant and just stop talking and move. And I say this not lightly, not that I've really talked lightly here, but I'm really, you're not gonna get any more solutions. You're not gonna get anywhere by talking anymore. And since there is the organizational structure of the organizations which you belong, so you should have the clout right there. Just pony up the money and find a place. Okay, and then I just have a little thing here. On page 31, I'm not sure what you mean with the Ensign Lane stop. What does posted mean?
What?
Posted?
The RFP will be posted.
Oh, okay, you really mean posted.
Huh?
I thought you meant something else, okay.
The RFP will go out next week.
Okay, so it actually to be advertised,
Huh?
advertised. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put advertised in you just.
Well, it's not advertised, it'll be posted on the
Posted on the,
state Oregon Buys website.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Charles, did you have something?
It's just delaying the meeting, if something is, go ahead.
Rebecca?
Delay the meeting.
Regarding outreach and marketing, it sounds like there's soon we will have someone working with us on that. And it would be interesting to see this in progress if we could as a board.
We won't be.
We won't be.
We won't be what?
Received grant to develop plan.
We were awarded the grant, but that grant expires in June, and with our driver shortage, it didn't make sense for us.
Okay. Travel training, I was wondering, I'm very pleased to see that all the work that Jason is doing and, but I guess I haven't seen the details of that and how that's being evaluated and some of the numbers on that, so has that been provided to us in the past? Travel training, because if we're going to be having a travel training center, maybe knowing how that's going to evolve and,
We
what
talked
some of
about
the
that
numbers
a
are.
long time ago, it may have been before you were on the board, we're gonna fashion it after the one that's in St. Cloud, you fashioned it after TriMet. It's a really impressive facility. So the idea is to carve out some space in the new operations center to have one of those, so we can actually evaluate people. Right now, it's Oh, there's your application, approval. But we can actually,
Is that Jason?
The internet is down, and power's out, here or south. Hope it's not coming this way.
Yeah, power's out here as well in Cannon Beach. Could you please turn the sound on?
She.
is anybody else on besides Deanna? Not everybody that jumped out.
Did you text Deanna? Did she respond?
I'm here.
Oh, there she is, okay.
Yeah, she's the only one that's here.
You're on your phone only, Deanna?
No, I actually had to use the internet on my phone for my computer.
Oh, okay, you have the phones, okay.
I just got a text back from my husband, the power's back in Seaside.
Okay, good. That's good. May not have us in this meeting, but.
And Kathy and Jennifer are on, as well as Jason.
Why can't we see them?
Can you hear us?
Hey,
Yeah?
Yes.
you hear you.
There they are. I found them.
Oh, the end of bus.
They've been found.
On the inside.
Kathy, I had to let you in, I don't know, 3 or 4 times.
That's because the power went out and I went onto my phone and then back onto my computer.
Gotcha. Now we got y'all back.
Okay.
Anything else for Jeff? Jeff, how are you doing on your report? Are we recording?
Yes.
Just a comment, maybe if, when you apply for a marketing grant again, if to include the travel training center, because that's marketing, if you get people to understand the, how to,
Yeah, we gotta
Right,
figure out
right.
something. Agreed.
thank you.
Okay. Shall we move on? We ready? So Jennifer, you're up next.
Hello? Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for today. Just going over a little bit of my board report. I talked about the winter weather with the beautiful sun we had. It looks like we're going back into a little bit of winter weather. Unfortunately, have to keep watch of that snow. Probably through September, hopefully not. The Lower Columbia Connector buses, they are all ready except for just the final inspection. And then they hopefully will be delivering them to us in Warrenton in the next few weeks. They will have to hire a third-party driver to bring them out here. So we're just waiting to hear on what that expected delivery date will be from Creative Bus. Jeff already touched about Northwest Rides and the new mandate on the 15-minute wait window. That was effective immediately that day when we found out about it. So that did create extreme hardship on our schedule that we already had for that day, the next day. And so now we're working through that. It is causing some challenges, both on as a provider and then communicating with Northwest Rides and working through that as we wait 15 minutes for our rider and have shared rides on the vehicle, trying to get everybody to their appointment on time. Transit Employee Appreciation Day was a great day. We had a barbecue. Thank you for those that were able to make it and experience the day with us, and awarding Employee of the Quarter, and just giving appreciation to the staff and being able to feed them and just have a great positive day for everybody. I think it was well enjoyed by all. We're still talking about it and giving goodie bags to everybody that was there. And then I see Charles was able to receive his today, so I hope you enjoy. And then you talked about the Avenue U and Seaside on Route 101. Glad to hear that Jeff's going to be able to have a meeting. Hopefully that answers a lot of questions. I just wanted to add that the ridership down there, the drivers say that they drop off and pick up a lot of people at the Cartwright Park and at the store on the corner of Avenue U, and I believe it's
Columbia.
Yeah, thank you, and on Columbia. So that's the majority of the ridership in that neighborhood, and so I think it does help the area. Instead of them, they would have to walk. If we didn't do Avenue U, they would have to walk out onto Highway 101 into a safe location for a flag stop. I met with Lexi from Bolt, which is Bolt Busing on the Lookout, and was able to talk to her about our help that we were able to give, our call in February, helping the two young girls that rode the bus or trying to ride the Portland bus into Portland. And so she's going to use our story as a case study. Jeff has nominated them for the Harriet Tubman Award, and so she remarked about that. And so they're going to stay in contact with us, and we were very appreciative of the training we have through them, and she did ask if there were other things that we made suggestions as far as the training and how to better assist us. So that was exciting to know. And I told her we were going to continue to do that training, that Busing on the Lookout. So, and then very excited for the Narcan. Thank you, appreciate that. It definitely puts the drivers at ease, especially as remarked, the response time on the east side of the county, Columbia County, it's, with resident officers and volunteers, it's kind of the response time is not as quick. So having those tools in the driver's hands will be helpful. So I appreciate that, and I thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Jennifer. So I don't know if maybe Jeff explained this while I was offline trying to reconnect, but what is the 5-minute wait time extended to 15 minutes? What is that about?
So when we provide curb-to-curb service, And this 5-minute wait time going to 15-minute is only for the Northwest rides. And those are our Medicaid rides that we fill our schedule with. And so when the driver arrives, they mark arrive on their tablet. It used to be we were only required to wait 5 minutes. And dispatch, when we see that the driver shows, we make every effort. We either, call the rider, we're calling their emergency contact. If they're at the doctor's office and we're trying to get them home, we're calling the reception, we're calling their cell phone, the house phone, trying to get a hold of that rider, and we wait 5 minutes. If we can't make any contact, we mark them as a no-show and leave after 5 minutes. That 5 minutes is now 15 minutes. We have to wait 15 minutes before we can mark them as a no-show or wait for them to get on the bus.
Got it. And then just for knowledge, if somebody is a no-show, we still get paid for the ride?
No, we do not.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What happens if the windshield wipers malfunction? Is there an extra pair of windshield wipers? What happens? And is there a toolbox on buses?
Some drivers have maybe just small tools, a screwdriver, to do minor immediate repair if they need to. Otherwise, the bus is stopped and wait for the mechanics to do anything more. If it's a windshield wiper that's malfunctioning, they usually can fix it on the side of the road, or we just bring them a new bus.
And also, in the last paragraph, you talk about the last sentence that the drivers are either training with a mentor, etc. Did they pass the drug test?
They would have done a pre-employment drug test, yes.
Thank you.
And then they stay in the random pool as all of us.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else for Jennifer? No? All right, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Is Nicole on by any chance?
No.
Okay. Move on to Jason.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good morning. It's good to see all of you. And before we get into my report, I would like to echo what Jennifer said. I would like to thank you all for approving the Narcan program. I can't overstate that this is going to provide such a powerful addition to the resources in total of our community to help people who are suffering through these tragic situations. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm open for questions.
Pamela, oh no, Rebecca beat Pamela.
Okay. Morning, Jason.
Hey, good morning.
Just a little note here. I was just wondering, from the first paragraph, all learners were from the South County area. Is that, random count, or we have more South County takers? Is there any merit to that statistic, or just random?
Well, just anybody who required or requested travel training for that particular month, we always inquire as to where they come from. South County seems to be the overwhelming majority of requesters. Why is that necessarily? I've got dozens of potential answers on that, but none of them really hold a whole lot of water. It's just there's more people in South County, and that's usually what I look at that is just basically south of for me. This is just my map that I have in my reporting head is just basically from Camp Riley as further south. So it's not a whole lot from Camp Riley until we hit Gearhart as far as travel training is concerned. But there's quite a few people who have from Seaside, so South County, who do require travel training. So.
Okay, something to ponder. On your next to your last item here, about visiting local adult foster homes in Astoria. I just want to commend you for that. That's good coverage and
Yeah.
appreciate the effort on that.
Yeah, thank you. It's important, you know, and it's not something I thought of, you know, before. I really got to owe it to an individual, a friend of mine who actually has a family member in an adult foster home, who just kind of told me, you know, hey, it'd be interesting if you could maybe talk to the, you know, the house owners and so forth, and just see if they'd be willing to have you come by and visit with them and stuff. And, you know, might not be a whole lot of individuals needing help, but you know, hey, if I get to talk to more people about transit, then that's for the better.
Good, thank you.
Yep.
Emma, did you have anything?
I also wanted to commend you about doing adult foster homes. I'm not quite sure what that means, though.
I mean, there's plenty of adult foster homes here in our community, and typically, like I had said before, you know, really there isn't much of a need at all. This was the first time in 5 years of receiving any kind of request for it, and I just happen to know several owners of these foster homes, and I just thought it would be interesting to you know, work in some, you know, calendar you know, times to go talk to some of them and so forth. And you know, at least the ones that I know are very interested in having me come by and talk to them. And like I say, most of their residents that they have there, they're not interested in riding public transit. There are a few though, so it's good that I get a chance to get in there and talk about it. Whether or not they ever use transit, I don't know. You know, but they are interested in having me go down there and just talk about some things. So that's just kind of where we're at. I'm just trying to cover all my bases, and sometimes that does include some things that you would normally not think of, you know. So
That isn't the question. I didn't question, I'm not questioning the need. I don't
Okay.
understand how one gets into an adult foster home.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's just another form of, so one's family just is looking to have individuals, you know, taken care of. Maybe they don't, in adult foster homes are really, a lot of the residents there are people who don't have any local support here. Family don't live here. I mean, some very sad cases that I've you know, heard about, you know, there's people that have zero representation at all, zero connections to any family members whatsoever. And so these homes fill that void and do help these individuals maintain some semblance of a normal life. So
they, are they paid, do they get in free? Is it a subsidized situation?
No, ma'am. I know there's a process that they go through. I'm not privy to the whole process. I can tell you with my own grandma, we attempted to do something to that extent with a care facility, just because we had challenges at other care facilities. We never got into an adult foster home at that time with her, but there is a process and there is a cost associated with being there, and whether or not the insurance they have is frequent enough to be able to cover that, we don't know.
I think it's a private arrangement.
Okay.
It's not.
Thank you, I didn't mean to,
Yes,
There we go.
but it's a good program. I'm glad.
It is, yes.
Good what you're doing.
Anything else of Jason? Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Kathy, I think you're up next.
I'm here. Does anybody have any questions for me on my report?
Rebecca does.
First paragraph, let us in on the mystery here. Have you met my boyfriend?
Oh, okay.
Her boyfriend or your boyfriend?
It's right
Let's
there
not
on the
start
report.
worrying.
Okay, so her.
I'm assuming
Ah,
this is
so now we know
official.
who reads their board pack.
Well, you know, not only intrigued, but how this fits into, you know, SETD, I'm all ears.
There's her
That
board.
was a test. And Rebecca, you have met my boyfriend.
Okay, I thought that
Oh, I
was.
saw him.
Okay,
Back in the yellow vest.
all right.
So my boyfriend is an integral part of my tabling and my outreach. He comes to all of my outreach events with me, and he demonstrates how to be bright and be seen.
Awesome.
I made
Okay, one other thing, I, down here towards the end, your last, full paragraph, about the, ideas for the show, you know, additional ideas for your show, your talk show. And, maybe I'm, this may be not very easy to accomplish, but, you know, the, now that we know that we have continuous transportation from Yachats to PDX airport, right? Or someday we'll have that. Because I think there is a way that you can connect all the ways on the coast to, from Yachats up here to Portland. It would be great to see, you know, just a little log or even a pictorial log or something, a video of somebody enjoying that route. So there's my idea.
Rebecca, have you been listening in on Jason and my planning sessions? Because that is exactly something that we have planned. And so look for that in the future. We are working on that, and there's been some pieces and parts that needed to fall into place for us to be able to do that, but we're gathering footage for that.
Awesome. Thank you.
She's clairvoyant. That's what she is.
Anything else for Kathy? Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't see Pam's flag.
It's just a compliment. I'm really pleased to see about employers, you know, commuting options for their employees, and I think that needs to be really emphasized. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, I had lots of great conversations with them at the Job and Career Fair. It's one of the reasons why I get a separate table from Sunset Empire at the Job and Career Fair, so that I can really promote the different things that I do, and that I'm there, that I work in conjunction with Sunset Empire, but I'm not only about the bus, that I can also help them with carpools and van pools and those different programs that the state offers. And the state is about to launch a whole new rewards program, and so hopefully we can get some of those employers on board here locally with that.
Excellent. Thank you.
And just one more item, Kathy, is it here in your conference, education and meetings that you attended, I'm assuming the Women in TDM Forum? Can you explain that? And I don't have the acronym for TDM anywhere. And what was the takeaway for that?
So TDM is a really important acronym for you all to know. It's Transportation Demand Management. And that is what I do. That's carpools, van pools, microtransit, biking, walking, buses. All of those things are all transportation demand management. And I am part of a national group called the Association for Commuter Transportation. And recently, in honor of Women's History Month, there was a Women in Transportation Demand Management Forum, which I participated in. And so it's a really great group, and I'm going to be doing some further education with them as well and get a certificate program. I'm going to participate in a certificate program that was authorized by Jeff. And so I'll have some extra letters after my name after I complete that. And I'm able to say I'm TDM certified. And so, yes, it was a great program.
Yeah, it'd be great to hear, you know, a little bit more of the specifics in the future as to how that's going to benefit us. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you, Kathy. Mary.
Yes. Well, yes. Had a great time at the job fair. I was the table for Sunset Empire Transportation, and I had the applications. I didn't have flashers, I didn't have all that, but I did have some things to give out. But I certainly talked to a lot of young people. As it was set up, the high schools came in first, and they all came in from across the river, Jewel, Seaside, Warrenton, Esther. A lot of kids came in there, and they were so well behaved, and they were so interested. And when they saw that I I've been equipped by Sue, because Sue could not attend. And so I was equipped with the driver manual for getting a CDL, and as soon as they saw the CDL information, they were very interested. So I was able to hand out quite a bit of information to them. And it was wonderful. It was just really wonderful. Then adults came in, unfortunately, again, like at the last job fair, when it was open to the public, at the very end of it, the last hour, there, after having that influx of buses, you went down to 5, 6, 7 people that came by. So it was not as attended by the public. The location at the college was stupendous though, because it was on the bus route. And the last years we had a Clatsop County Fairgrounds and no one could get out there. Yeah, so it worked out really well. And I think they'll have it there again next year.
There was a lot of comments about the college,
Yeah.
how great that facility was.
Yes, it was wonderful. It was really wonderful. Plus it got the kids on that campus, which is fantastic. And that's a big step to get walk on a campus. So I've had kind of an interesting, busy month, posting things, getting the information out, the usual, getting everything in Spanish, et cetera. The one thing I wanted to say is I designed our bus wraps, and I did that a long time ago. We've had the same bus wraps. We have 2. One is titled From the Mountains to the Sea, and the other one is called Fishing Life, because it has boats, fishing boats. That picture is another example. That's on the back of one of our buses. But the photos that I used, I called on a friend who was a wonderful photographer that got up every morning and took pictures around Clatsop County, and he had no real ownership, didn't put his name on it. So I called him and I said, I'm trying to do these bus wraps, and I've got this idea of the mountains to the sea, and I want it to be bold and beautiful. Anyway, so he let me use his photos. And the bus that Jeff just showed has his photos on it as well that has won an award for that picture, but the bus wrap as well. He was just diagnosed with cancer. He's got about 3 weeks to live, and I went to his pre-party. He had a party before he died, which was last weekend, and I got to thank him, and he has told his family, who is very proud of him, that his pictures are traveling all over Clatsop County.
Yeah, cool.
Isn't it a great story?
Awesome.
So the rest of the story, which is that he took a picture of my husband on a boat in 2009, and at that party, he presented a big portrait of my husband on his boat, took me and my kids and my grandson. He's an Astoria boy, a good guy. So anyway, so we see the buses. Think of Mike. His name is Mike Duncan. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary. Anything from Mary? Last but never least, Pam.
Am I the never
It's your
least?
turn.
Can the board have a copy of the buses on the lookout so that we would know if we're a passenger?
To take the course or to,
It's not a written thing?
it's a
So
course.
it's an online
It's
training.
It's an online training.
We can send you the link.
Okay, thank you.
We did do a press release. If you'd like a copy of that, I can send you a copy of the press release.
No, I think I'll just send you the link to
I'll
know
send it
what
to
to look at. Thank you.
All right. And I want to thank Mary for all the help she's given me the last couple of months with all of this stuff that's going on and everything, because I relied on her for a few things when Jeff was on vacation and stuff. So,
Yeah, so I could be in person with you guys. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a busy month. I attended the FTA Drug and Alcohol Conference virtually, and it was very, very interesting. I learned even more. I had gone to a training when I first was hired up in Salem with Biomed, and that was very good. But I mean, you always can learn more. And so the 90-day, if someone's out of a random pool, like if they're ill or whatever, for 90 days before they can come back to work, they have to be pre-test or pre-employment, do a pre-employment test again, which, was like, ooh, okay. So anyway, I was happy to be able to attend that. And there were some conference sessions that I would have really liked to have attended. Sean Oswald did one on marijuana use, and I just wanted to see what he had to say about it, because it has been such a roadblock in getting some of our another transportation support specialist. It has just been, we've had people who are definitely qualified, but you know, they enjoy their marijuana and okay, it's legal, so anyway. Okay, so I'm working with the evaluation committee. We have a meeting today after this meeting, so I will hurry. And yeah, I am hoping to have the final revisions done to the personnel policies and to Jeff by the end of next week. And so then after he approves them, then they will go to the attorney at SDAO, and then they will, yes, come back to the board for approval. So hopefully within a month or so. Because I have been working on them all year. There've just been other things that have been coming up. Anyway. Okay. Any questions? Okay.
Looks like everybody's happy.
Okay.
Is there anything else? Anybody needs to, okay, then I guess we will go ahead and adjourn our meeting at 11:20. Thank you, everybody. I know it's a little bit longer than normal, but we've gotten quite a bit done. So. Thanks.
Thank you.